Hello, my name is Charles Helton, and today we're talking about user models and contextual design. So, in this presentation for topic 1, we're going to talk about the user's processor model, and we're going to talk about the user's predictor model, specifically in the USM's Canvas interface. For topic 2, we're going to talk about contextual design in the context of VR headsets, and then we'll hit to our conclusion. So, to start off, we're going to cover user's processor model. This model is how a user cognitively processes the information. So, what they're going to see when they look at your interface, what they're going to think after they see it, and then what they're going to do. So, to the right is a picture of Canvas, USM's Canvas. So, the user processor model will take into consideration perception, cognition, and motor skills. So perception would be, what do they see? They see the tabs on the left and the subtabs on the right. Cognition, what do they do and where do they go from there with that information? In this case, the circle next to grades is going to draw your eye and say, I got something to do there, I got something to check. And then motor is how they're going to check that. In this case, they're going to use a point and click with a mouse, but you could use touchscreen or other ways to get there. And the predictor model, you would look at this interface, same interface, and say, how long would it take to decide what I want to do and take that action? Like, how long does it? How long would it take for you to decide I want to go look at my grades and then pick it? And then Hicks' law is saying the more choices there are, the longer it takes to find that decision, which would be grades, and take that decision. So they have some things in common, the processor and predictor models. They both want to, the processor model will try to predict what the user will see, what they'll think after they see that, and then what action they'll take. The predictor model shows how quickly they will see that, how quickly they'll make that decision, and how quickly they can act on that decision. So having a design using the processor model with humans in mind to make things efficient and usable, then applying the predictor model would probably make it more efficient and usable if you use them in conjunction. So applying the processor model for improvements to that same photo, you could look at the left. How quickly will they realize what they're seeing? One could argue there's no boundaries drawn between the things you could choose, and they don't even look like buttons. They're white drawings. If you could make that more clear, their perception of what they can choose would happen easier. And as far as what decisions they're going to make, there's nothing there to say, hey, here's an indicator saying you got something to do here. Here's what you need to do next, like they do here for grades. So if you added that, they can get around faster or decide to get around faster. And using the predictor model, the word calendar, for example, on the left side of Canvas doesn't say anything besides the word calendar. If it said something like agenda, it would help the user more quickly decide that's where I need to go to figure out what I have to do next. And Hicks' law, there's a lot of things, a lot of clickable things under courses. For example, if you combine some things like library materials with course materials into one thing, there'd be less links and you could get to your materials faster instead of having to decide which materials do I want. To the second topic, contextual design with VR. VR is great, and ideally it's productive, and it can help you do work. You could set up 5 or 6 different screens to be doing work on. However, it's not usable everywhere. You can't use it while you're trying to watch a child. You can't see very well, and you can't use it out in public very well without bumping into things and without looking weird. So how do we fix that? You can take the context of being out in public or doing more real world things while using the device into your design. So shrinking the headset, giving you more peripheral vision, would help you use it in more contexts, and designing it to be less bulky and odd would also help you use it more in places like public. Now you could take this even a step farther and make it less obvious and have contacts or even crazier brain chips that talk to your optical nerves. And that would help you use this interface and this program more places, more often, and more efficiently, which is the idea. So we covered the processor and predictor model, and we applied them towards Canvas. We discussed contextual design for VR and how designing it differently can let you use it in more different contexts. Thank you very much.